So today is going to be day 2 of our week of Halloween videos. And today we are going to jump in talking about the Ouija board. Now, it is very, very strongly advised that you do not play with one. I, however, know that there are going to be some people who are going to do it anyway, just as I have done. I personally own a Ouija board. I have personally used the Ouija board. My experiences have not been bad, terrible, extreme, nothing like that. But that does not mean that that is always the case. There are some people who have very bad, very evil experiences with a Ouija board. The first thing I want to throw out there is any time that you are trying to contact the other side, any spirit, anything paranormal, you always have to be careful and cautious no matter what tool it is that you are using to contact the other side. Whether it be a ghost detector, an EMF detector, a Ouija board, whatever it may be, always do it carefully and cautiously. And with Halloween getting closer and closer, I know that there is going to be someone out there who wants to try to use a Ouija board or play with a Ouija board to do some type of fun, spooky, scary things for Halloween. And with that being said, I just want to make sure that everyone is careful and cautious. So today we are going to be going through some rules of the Ouija board that you should never break, and also some warning signs that your Ouija board session has gone horribly wrong and you are contacting something that I'm sure you don't want to contact. So let's just go ahead and jump in. So for those of you who don't know, before we get into the do's and don'ts of a Ouija board, I am just quickly going to show you guys a Ouija board, talk about it, explain it, just in case there's anyone out there who does not know, which I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone knows about Ouija boards, but there's just things that you need to be aware of before you even think about it. So this is a Ouija board. It looks like this. It usually comes in a box. You could get them pretty much anywhere. I ordered mine on Walmart years ago. So when you open it, obviously it has, you know, the rules, how you play, what it's used for, all that in here when you open it. This little guy here is the planchette. This is what you put on the Ouija board. You put your hands on it to allow the spirits to come through and move it around the board. This is the thing that pretty much gives you your answers or whatever it is that you're looking for or asking. This moves around the board and relays that message to you from the spirits. And this here is the actual board. So all Ouija boards, they look somewhat different, but they are all pretty similar. There will always be a yes and no on it. There will always be a goodbye. There's always all the letters through the alphabet as well as all the numbers. And as I said in the beginning of this video, there are some people who have had extremely terrible, terrifying, negative experiences where they have let something demonic, something unhuman, something terrifying into their reality or into our dimension. As I said, though, that isn't always the case because I have personally used my Ouija board multiple times and I really didn't have any activity and definitely none that was like extremely scary. But that is not always the case, and I want to stress that as well. So now that we kind of ran through what a Ouija board is and what a Ouija board does, we need to get into the important things. And these are the do's and don'ts when it comes to a Ouija board. So the first thing, just as in anything that you do paranormal, if you're ghost hunting, if you're using a Ouija board, if you're using ghost detectors, whatever it is, always be respectful. You do not always know what it is that you are contacting. It could be something malicious, it could be something demonic, it could be something that wants to cause you harm or also possess you, because that is a real thing. So when you are using any type of paranormal tool, especially the Ouija board, please always be respectful. Always talk to the spirits nicely, ask for permission. Don't ever joke, mock, or try to piss them off because it could go horribly wrong. So always be very respectful, be nice, talk to them in a form of sensitivity and caring. And it's usually best when you're ghost hunting or trying to contact the other side to ask questions in a simple yes or no form. So that means ask questions where your answer could be something simple as a yes or a no. Like, did you used to live here? It would be yes or no. So it's always better to ask those type of questions. Also, it is said that you are not supposed to ask a Ouija spirit how it died. I don't know if that is true or not. I have never gotten that far. So just be mindful that there are some sayings out there that says that you're not supposed to ask Ouija spirits how they died. Another thing is that you're not supposed to play the Ouija board alone. This makes you way more receptive to having something come through to harm you or possess you as well. So when you're alone and you play the Ouija board, you're the only energy, the only spirit there that these things can go into. So if something comes through this board, if you contact something, you are literally the only one responsible. So if you have a group of 5 people, it's different. It could bounce off of anybody. But if it's just you, then it's just you. So when something goes wrong, when something comes through, it's only coming to you. You are playing alone. Like, you're the only energy. You're the only source for these spirits and for this type of energy to come through and to feed off of, to possess, to get into, to control, to harm. Once again, it could go horribly wrong. So it is strongly advised that you do not play a Ouija board alone. Also, just as in playing the Ouija board alone, you are not ever supposed to play the Ouija board if you are sick or weak-minded. Meaning sick if you're like physically sick, if you have a cold, a flu, anything like that, it's advised that you do not play the Ouija board in that moment. Also, you're not supposed to play if you are weak-minded. Weak-minded meaning that you're having some mental things going on. You are currently having some mental struggles, whether it's a severe case of depression or amped up anxiety, whatever it is. If you're not right physically and mentally, do not ever play a Ouija board because it makes you so much weaker. Like, you're already weak from being sick, having mental struggles. Whatever it is, it really takes a toll on your body, no matter if it's mental or a flu. So you're already going to be weaker. Your energy's already going to be down. You don't have those strong barriers up to like protect yourself. So this makes you more receptive once again to have something come through to harm you or possess you because you are so weak and not strong enough to fight back or to not having that strong energy to protect you. Also, when it comes to Ouija boards, you are told not to ever play the Ouija board in a cemetery. Now, not only is a cemetery a final resting place where, you know, the dead can rest peacefully, but it's also the quickest way to attract negative and evil spirits, have bad experiences. You're making yourself more prone to possessions when you play in a cemetery because you have all types of spirits that hang out there. This is a final resting place for a lot of these people that's in there, for pretty much everybody that's in the cemetery. It is their final resting place. It's supposed to be where they are at peace. Not every spirit is at peace though. So when you're in a cemetery, you are surrounded by different types of energies, different types of spirits. And when you play in a cemetery, you are opening up the portal to everything that is around you. And once again, you do not know what is coming through that board. So do not ever play in a cemetery, not only due to having respect for the dead, but also you don't know what's wandering in a cemetery. A cemetery is a very death-filled, dark place. And I'm pretty sure whatever hangs out there, you do not want to contact that or invite it into your reality. Number 5. I don't know why that was 10, but number 5. And a lot of people think that this is the best way to get rid of the negative evil spirits or to be done with the board altogether. But do not ever burn a Ouija board. Like I said, some people feel that when you burn the Ouija board, you can get rid of whatever energy or negative spirit is connected or has came through this board. But it's actually not true, and it can cause you a lot more harm than just leaving it alone. And the reason is, when you burn a Ouija board, you are actually releasing everything and anything that has came through this board. Any spirit, any energy, evil, good, whatever it may be, you have now released that into our dimension, into your reality, and pretty much something that you're going to have to live with or go through a whole process of getting rid of. So just don't ever burn a Ouija board, because anything that has ever been contacted or came through that board, once you burn it, is now released into our world, our living space, our dimension. You just don't want that. So just don't ever burn a Ouija board. Regardless of what people say, it is not the way to get rid of it. It actually is a way to release all of it. This next one is one of the biggest rules when it comes to playing with a Ouija board. No matter what you do, I want you to be advised and take heed to all of these do's and don'ts. But if you disregard any of them, just don't let it be this one. Make sure this is always a rule that you follow anytime it comes to a Ouija board. Always, always, always close out the board and say goodbye. Now, when I was showing you guys the Ouija board a minute ago, if you look at it, it has goodbye down here. Every single Ouija board will have goodbye on the board. If it don't touch it. But every single legit Ouija board will have goodbye at the bottom of the board. The reason that is there is for you to close out the board and say goodbye. When you move the planchette down to goodbye to close out the board, it closes the portal. So if you are playing, no matter what comes through, no matter how scared you get, no matter how bad you want to be done with the session, do not ever leave the board, walk away from the board, be done with the board unless you pull the planchette down to goodbye and properly close it out. If you do not do that, you are leaving the portal open. Whatever you contacted along with other things are more than welcome to come through, because you already started the board and you never closed it. You never said, all right, y'all, I gotta get dinner going. It's time to go to bed. Like, y'all gotta go. You've got to move that planchette down to goodbye to properly close out the board and close that portal. If you do not, that portal will remain open, inviting all types of negative, bad energy your way. And you do not want that. So please always remember, when it comes to a Ouija board, no matter how serious it gets, do not ever leave that board unless you move the planchette down to goodbye and close it out. When you're playing with a Ouija board, some of the spirits will give you signs or clues that they're not a good spirit, that it's something evil, that it's something that wants to come through, harm you, take control of you, take advantage of you, whatever it is. And there are plenty of warning signs to let you know that your Ouija board session has gone horribly wrong. So with this next rule of the Ouija board, it also comes with a few warning signs that you should be mindful of and also take into consideration when you are playing. When you play with the Ouija board, if something negative or bad is coming through, sometimes there are signs to let you know that this is not going good. You're having a bad session. It's time to close it out, say goodbye, and be done with it, because something evil and malicious is coming through to hurt, harm, take advantage of you, whatever it may be. It's just letting you know that this is not a good sign. And anytime that this happens, close out the board, say goodbye, and be done altogether. This can allow something negative to escape the board. This is something trying to get out and trying to come into our reality. It is something bad. It is something negative. This is a sign that you need to be done. Close out the board. Leave it alone. Do not go any further. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Do not do anything other than close that board out and say goodbye. If the planchette is counting down backwards through the numbers or taking you through each letter of the alphabet, it is just time to be done. The session is over. Say goodbye and leave it alone. And this also comes along with any time that the planchette does random crazy things. So not only is it just counting backwards through the numbers or moving the planchette through each letter of the alphabet. This also includes any time that the planchette is continuously going to the four corners of the board. Close it out, say goodbye. Something evil is coming through. Something is trying to escape the board. Also, if the planchette is ever doing a figure 8 across the board, same thing. Something evil is there. Something evil is also trying to escape, and it is time to move the planchette to goodbye, close out the board, and be done. These are like major warning signs that your Ouija board session is going wrong. You have contacted something evil, something that wants to escape, and possibly want to harm you or someone in your family or someone at the session. before we move to the next rule, I just want to quickly cover the fact that you are never supposed to leave a planchette setting on top of the Ouija board if you are not using it. So this means if you are currently not in a Ouija session, if you're currently not using the board, if you're currently not sitting there ready with your hands on the planchette, do not ever leave it just laying like this. And the fact of that is because you have activated the board. When you set it here and you're not in control, you're not seeing what's going on, these spirits can come through. They can help their self to literally do whatever. They can help their self escape the board. You literally just left the door open for them. So do not ever leave the planchette setting on a Ouija board when you are not using it, because you are opening that portal for them. It's active anytime. Whatever can contact this board or come through can easily be released. So do not ever just leave it setting up with the planchette setting on it. Have them in 2 different locations, whatever it is, but just do not ever have this planchette setting on the board for decoration, whatever it is, if you are not actively using it. Okay, so real quick before we get to the next do or don't, I want to cover another warning sign since we are on the subject already. Another warning sign that your Ouija session is going wrong. That is if you lose track of time. Anytime that you are dealing with the paranormal, they can alter this specific thing. You could lose track of time when it comes to paranormal. So it's not just the Ouija board, but more specifically the Ouija board, since we are talking about it in this case. So if you have been playing the Ouija board and it feels like you've been playing for a few minutes and you look at the clock and it's really been like 4 or 5 hours, and you don't remember what happened. Like it feels like 10 minutes to you. It doesn't feel like it's been 4 hours, but clearly it has been. It's clearly a sign that something has altered your mind and your reality. And things like this is coming from something evil and something demonic, and it could also be a sign of possession. Because in the time that you don't remember, something else could have taken over or taken advantage of you. That's usually a sign and the case when it comes to possession. When someone is possessed, they're not there. Something has control of them. Something has taken over. So you're not aware of what's going on when something else is in your body, when something else is controlling your moves, when something else is present, you're no longer there. So that time that you lost could have been any type of evil, demonic, malicious energy or spirit that has possessed you literally and taken over. So if you ever feel that you have been playing the Ouija board and you lost track of time, it is time to close the board out and be done with it altogether, because that is a sign that something evil has already attached to you and it's not going to go good. Okay, you guys, so that pretty much does it for today's video. There are so many other cautionary things that you should do or be mindful of when you are using a Ouija board. Some people say don't even touch one to begin with. I can't say that they're wrong or right. It's honestly all up to you, your personal feelings, your personal experiences, and whatever works for you. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I own my Ouija board. I've had it for years. I have used it multiple times. Me personally, I haven't had really any experience with the Ouija board. Like I haven't had nothing come through, good or bad. Like I'm just sitting there for like what feels like hours just waiting. But I know that that's not the case for everyone. Some people have had terrifying experiences that I'm glad that I kind of didn't witness. So when it comes to contacting the paranormal or specifically playing a Ouija board, just please keep in mind all of these rules, all of these do's and don'ts. And please, I'm begging you, for your safety, do not ever break them. So there you go, you guys. That is all of my advice and tips that I can offer you when it comes to using a Ouija board, if you do, however, decide to use one. If you enjoyed this video or want some more spooky content other than just this week of Halloween, make sure to leave this video a thumbs up. Also, go ahead and leave me your comments down below until my next video. And if you haven't done it already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. As you see, I film and upload randomly, and there is always some type of different content going on, and I don't want you to miss out on it. Not only that, but I might have some valuable information that can help save you from something evil. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, stay up to date, see what I'm putting out so that you don't miss out on anything. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.